The cost of living in Nigeria is currently a concern as the price of foodstuffs and other commodities keep soaring. With Christmas around the corner, citizens are already feeling the brunt of Nigeria's dwindling economy, as preparing a meal comes at a huge cost due to the rising price of cooking gas. There are also fears that the price may rise further owing to the scarcity of the product, which marketers are attributing to supply disruption. For a couple of months, the price of the essential commodity has been fluctuating, adding more pain to the lives of Nigerians, particularly the average people who have come to the realization that the use of LPG for cooking is safer, easier, and faster than the traditional firewood or charcoal. A 12.5 kg of cooking gas, which sold for between 9,000 and 10,000 naira depending on the point of purchase across Lagos by the end of September, suddenly rose to a staggering 12,500 naira at the dawn of October. The development has become a great source of worry and concern to many Nigerians, particularly when considered against an earlier warning by the president of the Nigerian Association of Liquefied Petroleum Gas Marketers, Olatubosun Oladapo, that the price of 12.5 kg cooking gas could hit as high as 18,000 by December if the federal government did not checkmate the activities of the terminal owners. Joining us now to discuss the soaring cost of cooking gas and what the federal government needs to do to checkmate the rise is Olatubosun Oladapo himself, the president of the Nigerian Association of Liquefied Petroleum Gas Marketers. Good morning, Mr. Oladapo. Good to have you in the studio with us.
Good morning.
All right, thank you very much. I mean, part of what we referenced there were your fears and concerns that if we're not careful and the federal government, didn't come to the rescue of an average Nigerian, before Christmas, we probably will be talking about 18,000 naira for a 12 kg of gas. But in the last 2 weeks or thereabout, we have seen an almost 26% increase. What are the issues? And why hasn't government listened to you? Because you gave this, advisory a while ago. Why are they not listening to you?
Thank you very much. And good morning to Nigerians. The issue of hiking price of gas didn't start today.
Yeah.
It's been on. In actual sense, about 2 years ago, I was at this studio.
Okay.
Where we came to call the attention of government to it. Price was going up there. Now, recently, there are a lot of economic factors that happened to Nigeria. So we all know why overheads of doing business went up.
That's right.
But why we are raising voice now is that when things go beyond normal, once you need to talk, because people catch on that advantage and they punish the innocent one. The last time we raised issue like this, we were focusing government on what is expected of them to be done. And the government had us loud and clear there, and they took steps. And I recant the step government took to make sure that this product is stable, affordable to Nigerians, and that Nigerians are entitled to better living and better means of cooking. Government actually responded. When we started the campaign about the hiking price, we did an open letter because we weren't getting any response then. With the open letter, the then President Muhammadu Buhari, was out in Glasgow for summit, UN summit. When we did that letter, immediately he came back. He contacted the Minister of Petroleum there, Governor Sliver, and he immediately set up a committee on how do we tackle this problem. It concerns all Nigerians, and we should be able to give hope to them to be able to cook. Government then agreed to tackle the problem through supply angles.
Okay.
And they agreed that, okay, NLNG, you are the largest producer of cooking gas in Nigeria. You also export your product to other countries. Can you please, all your production of butane, make it available in Nigeria? Don't export again. NLNG said yes, they will do. They started doing it. NLNG said the butane we have, there's limitation to it, but we have propane in abundance. But because of our weather, we are in a tropical region. So propane is not ideal for us because it's very volatile and could be dangerous. So the Standard Organization and NLNG and other government agency, that's gas expansion project scheme, they had a meeting. We thought the terminal said we can blend, and they approved a blending ratio that is comfortable and suitable for this country. That augments product that's available to the country for main energy. There are other molecule producers in the country that were producing LPG before, and they were exporting. Government had to compel them that all your product, please sell it for the local market. They all oblige. As we speak today, the total production of cooking gas we do in this country range from 750,000 metric tons to 800,000 metric tons. I stand to be challenged. The facts and figures are there. Government authority has this. As of today, Nigeria do less of imports than what we produce. Because we now produce more than we import. Our total consumption, before the hike in price 2 years ago, we were operating on 1,250 to 1,300 metric tons per annum. I mean, 1,250 to 1,300 metric tons per annum. But because the price went up, a lot of people dropped along the line and the demand went down. Today, we are operating between 900 to 800,000 metric tons. So if we are actually consuming about 900,000 metric tons and we are producing locally about 750,000 with blending and all augmentation of volume, that's because blending is going on, it's approved, it's not an illegal. So then what do we import? We import a little to supplement. And it will be unfair to Nigerians if we have to price all the products as if they are being imported in this country. If this item were to be a luxury item, I won't be here. Nigerians will not be there because luxury item is affordability. We are not talking of perfume. We are not talking of Bentley car. We are talking of an essential product that all Nigerians, young, old, medium age, need to cook. And it's an entitlement to live a better life.
But sometimes we hear politicians say that, oh, why are they talking of gas? You know, go and deal with kerosenes or, you know, charcoal or something.
Even
but I like the fact that you're emphasizing that it's not luxury good.
If subsidy in kerosene hasn't been removed, there's nowhere in the Western world that they cook with kerosene. Kerosene is for industrial. When we were subsidizing it, we were wasting money. But don't let us go to that area. We are talking about the cooking gas that must be available.
Yes.
That Nigerians are entitled to better living.
Yes.
They should be able to cook and heat. As at today, 1 kg of LPG is being sold 1,200 to 1,300. What 1 kg can do, it can only cook meal that a family of 2 will eat. One at once. So for you to cook from morning, afternoon, night, you need to cook with 5,000 naira. What is the average income of Nigeria? However, people that are of taking this, the terminal owner over there, they are investors. They've invested hugely and they've contributed in deepening the gas. Because they build storage facility, they do a lot of things, and they are entitled to return on their investment, which is profits. So it will be very naive on our side to say they are not entitled to profit. But we are saying we fought for this. We fought for them. We speak on their behalf, even when they are having issues in terms of vessel delay, in terms of VAT, in terms of charges. We were in the forefront so that life could be better and industry could be defended. But when government now has done what they needed to have done, then the price also should come down. Nigerians will have a feel of it. Profit is ideal, but any profit you make above normal profit is termed as extortion. What is happening now, there's excess profit involved. And we must realize the economic situation of Nigerians now, particularly the poor. The downtrodden are actually poor. She just said these people are hardly living on $1 per hour. This is not time to make super profits. It's time to be reasonable and also to defend the industry. Yeah, the poor and the firstless may not have choice. Sell it any amount you want to sell. They will withdraw, they won't buy. And when they do that, the market, the industry will collapse. We will be the first victims to face it. Because our shops will close. Yeah. And they will come around the corner, take it over.
Okay. Mr. Olatubosun, thank you so much for, setting the tone of this conversation. And, we can't have this conversation without, looking at the current exchange rate, the I&E window, as it were. And in light of the argument of the fluctuations in the foreign exchange rates and the international crude oil market impacting gas prices, how can the industry work together to create more stability in pricing? Are there any long-term strategies being explored to mitigate the impact of these global market fluctuations that we seem to be at the mercy of right now in Nigeria?
Thank you for that question, and let me clarify it very well. Volatility of exchange rates shouldn't have major effect on LPG because we produce it locally. We produce more. Bearing in mind that they have inputs that may have some materials maybe, but should not be significant. And in terms of how do we call it? Availability. The same government. Price template. We were using Montbellevue price template, which was international template. And the price go, when winter comes, the price go up, everything up. We led the agitation to government. And government called NLG. Can you develop a local template? They did it in Ghana. And NLG said it's okay. NLG came up with a price template. Different from Montbellevue, call it a local template. And all the stakeholders agreed that this template is stable and it actually come out with a lower price. So our gas produced in Nigeria is not subject to Montbellevue. Don't be deceived. NLG is working on a local price template. This is facts that can be verified. This is fact that can be verified. Government agencies, everybody. I'm speaking to Nigerians. And if I'm wrong, people can come and say, look, you goofed. This is right. This is what I'm saying. I'm talking from the point of knowledge. What I know. NLH had a meeting, Zoom meeting to all stakeholders when they developed this price template, which is a local price template, not a Montbellevue now. And nobody has agitated against it because it actually came up with a stable and a better price. So the price should be reasonable. Like I said, every investor is entitled to profit. And that is why we plead on behalf of our member, the objectives we need to defend this industry. Let us pity the voiceless Nigeria. And where it affects government
let the poor breathe.
A lot of Nigerians did not know the effort government has done in the past. Just have enumerated it now. And they come to our plant, they blame us and they blame government. And that is why government agencies should be here to defend the government in power. The government had laid a lot of foundation for us to have a better price than now, but who is overseeing it? Why we are not calling for regulation of price, but we are calling for mediation. We are calling for protections of the other party. Anywhere in the world that you leave price of an essential product to the determination of market forces, then the poor will pay for it. Suffer. Because the businessman, the private man will never be tired of making profit. But if he knows somebody is checkmating him, calling him back, he will be moderate. And that is the standard practice all over the world.
Market forces.
They are entitled to profitability. They must make return on their investment. They must make profit, but not a super profit that can be turned to an excessive one and turned to extension. If nobody stops, everybody wants to make as much as he can. Okay,
fantastic, Mr. Olatubosun. Two quick things. I like the local price template of gas, or the NLNG that you mentioned, and I'd like to ask you, broadening the scope. By the time our refineries roar back to life, they say that Port Harcourt will be ready by December, Warri will follow, and then Dangote that everybody has been waiting for when they come. Will that logic of a local price template apply? Because what we seem to be hearing is that, oh no, it will still be subjected to international price template. That's one. Secondly is when you say that government had laid the foundation in terms of pricing and everything, but that who is implementing, what therefore will be your expectations or your agenda setting for the new Minister of State? Because what Asiwaju has done as president is to give him the responsibility for gas. That's what's his name again? Ekoriko Ekpo. Ekpo. What will be your agenda for him in building on what has been done and ensuring that the poor can breathe as far as pricing is concerned?
Thank you. Two questions in one.
Yes,
the first question has to be about when refinery comes on board and the private investor also become operational and supply.
Yes.
First and foremost, there's a difference between the topic of gas and PMS and AGO. Because officially, the local production of those two products are zero. That's official. It's zero. They are not producing. But for LPG, local production is substantial and outweigh the imports. Yeah. That is fine. Then the second thing is that this is a test case. If this cooking gas is not well managed now, it tells you what will happen by the time refineries start to work. Because the capitalists will never be tired of making profit. So if there's nobody that monitoring and cut the SSA, when refineries start working, when private refineries back on stream, you will still buy PMS the way you are buying. And there will be one reason or the other excuse, and Nigeria will come to fail and will be helpless.
But you think it ought not to be?
No. I've told you what government has done. They allow blending at an agreed ratio. They are doing local template of pricing. They have abolished VAT on gas. There are challenges in vessels battling in Lagos and Port Harcourt. Government cleared that. They give priority to LPG vessels now. Vessels are moving from Port Harcourt to Lagos. Things are free.
Great.
And if there are challenges to this terminal owner, they should also come out.
Yeah.
And tell government, we cannot sell at our price. Yes, we know. They know how much they are buying. We know how much they are buying. And we know what is ideal. And if you don't have a reason, we won't be forcing out. We did not just start this one. We did when it favored them. But when they were having challenges, we were in the forefront. My association were in the forefront. We went to government. We wrote an open letter, and that made government to approve blending, made government to approve local price template, made government to prioritize vessel.
Under Buhari.
Under Buhari. And these are on and still on till today. It's the objective of government that it will translate into low cost to the common Nigerians. Yeah. But that has not been met. So if the same control is not put in place, then by the time other products are being produced here, they still work this around the same one because people will never be tired of making profits.
It's going to still be the same.
So what are your expectations for the new minister? What should he prioritize?
Thank you. The expectation is number one, should give concern to local market. Because the target now is exploration, how we bring investor. I tell you one, if local market is not developed, you will not get investor. Any investor that want to come to Nigeria, the first thing they will do, independent feasibility report. They want to see your utilization level. This product we want to exploit, or this product we want to store, this product we want to distribute, how many people will buy it?
Yeah.
If price of gas continue to go up, the utilization level will go down. Currently now in Africa, our utilization level is ridiculously low.
Really?
Really, despite the fact we have abundant deposits. Despite our population, about over 200 million, the utilization level is low. We are utilizing 900,000 metric tons per annum. Check what Morocco utilized. Their population is not up to half. Quarter of our population. Benin Republic utilized more gas than us. These are facts.
Benin Republic?
Yes. Algeria, Ghana, India, they utilize. So if you want an investor to come to Africa to come and invest, who are people to use this figure? That's the first statistic. Without your government knowing, if we do is independent funding. And when you see your utilization level is low, if we go to other neighboring countries, there are a lot of competitors now. Congo, Niger, Algeria, Angola, and other South African countries.
It can't be pricing alone that is responsible for our low utilization.
Exactly, that is it. We've done so much about equipment. There are cylinder manufacturing companies in Nigeria today. We manufacture cylinders here.
Okay.
Not one, not two companies. So cylinders are available, abundantly available. But the cost of gas, how can an average Nigerian has about 50,000 fresh graduates? Even government employment, go to state government. And he wants to buy, you just in your intro.
Yes.
12.5 kg of gas is about 12,500 now. Yeah. Can somebody hand 50,000, set aside 12,500 alone from that 50,000 to buy gas? Won't you buy food?
Exactly.
Won't you transport?
Yes.
So you just have to drop that. And a lot of people have dropped. Gas is only being sold in the city. I'm a practitioner. I have plants. I know, I interact with my customer. My members are numerous. They're all over the country. I get feedback.
From your findings, what are the alternatives that people have been forced to move to when they are dropping gas because of the cost?
I don't want to advertise that here.
Okay.
Actually, because my prayer is that everybody should come to gas.
Yes, but given the repercussions of rising gas prices, and it's interesting that you say that there's actually been a shift back to traditional cooking methods, and I believe I'm allowed to say, firewood, charcoal. But what initiatives?
Which are not good for the environment.
We've had those conversations while looking at during the Go Wild series, seeing the harm that using those traditional methods of cooking can do in the long run for individuals. But what initiatives is your association considering to promote? To find a way to promote LPG. You've said it yourself. 18,000. You were even saying 50,000 naira. Don't forget that we're still fighting for minimum wage to leave 30,000 naira. Are there any other plans to collaborate with government? Other financial assistance maybe to ease the burden on consumers.
Thank you. Before now we start the advocacy, we give out free cylinder. on the bill of my association. Wow. We've done that in Edo State, we've done it in Oyo State, we've done it in Lagos State, we've done it in Enugu, we've done it in Akwa Ibom, giving out free cylinders. Our association was to individuals. We started promoting, even at individual plants.
And your association absorbed all of this cost?
Yes. The records are there, the films are there. Every time we do, the media always cover it. We are share, to be modest, more than 2,500 cylinders, if not more than. Each avenue we went to, we don't share more than, just our AGM that we had in Ibadan a few weeks ago. We share cylinders, we give cylinders out. So remember, people can hear, testify, they hear me worldwide. So we do that. And apart from that, we try to make sure that even communities, the estates that are coming now, there's kind of reticuling arrangement where we supply to them to do. And when we do that to estate owners, you supply, after you collect money, you pay. So that makes it convenience for them. And these are things we are doing to deepen the market. But you can't deepen the market when you don't deepen people's purse.
Yeah.
When they can't afford, there's nothing you can do. So the only problem that's inhibiting the expansion of gas today is the affordability. Governments have just set up an agency. They call it Gas Expansion Scheme.
Yes.
And they call it Decade of Gas. If we are actually improving, utilization levels should not be shrinking. We ought to have been 6 million metric tons per annum by now in Nigeria with our population.
But we are
not doing 1 million.
1 million.
We are not doing 1 million. And the only problem is now, if the price becomes so low, we have supply issue. Get me right.
We may not be able to meet up.
We may not be able to meet up. And that is the focus of the new minister. Is concentrate his energy on exploration, inviting investors to come exploit. Yes, we will exploit, but let there be stability in the price. If the price is stable for now, then exploration comes. A lot of investors will come. I know Sahara Energy is putting a lot of, without mentioning them, some company, people want to invest. But when you invest, don't produce to be selling in another country, because when Nigeria cannot buy, you export and sell in another country and doesn't add value to our system. So you produce for us to use.
I think what you are saying will be very useful to the National Assembly, the Senate in particular, which has now invited the NNPCL, regarding the Petroleum Industry Act 2021, particularly the area of the Frontier Exploration Fund, to come and explain why Nigeria is not meeting up. But my question to you, because I think it's very humbling to realize that our utilization rate is lower than that of Benin Republic, Algeria, Egypt, Morocco, Ghana. From research, from your own figures, do you have an idea of the data capturing the number of households in Nigeria that are currently utilizing gas, and what will be the ideal number of households? I know that you have mentioned a 6 million kind of, metric tons, but in terms of data, where are we and where are we supposed to be?
Okay. The cheapest way to get the data is checking from supply angle.
Okay.
What comes to the country, what is being distributed, that tells you. Because gas cannot just be stored somewhere.
Unlike petrol. Unlike petrol,
you can't just store somewhere. So what comes into the country? And at what rate? So we have data of what comes into the country, what comes to each depot, what is being supplied and produced by each producer. We have data of them. And they also know, the government agencies also have this data. The issue is not about data, because it's not that the product is in excess. It's not actually in excess. It's not actually in excess. And if all of us will embrace, then there will be a relative scarcity. Because price, but what we are still saying that we could do better, and that's why we are pleading. The price can still come down and make it stable. Each and every time dollar change, gas price goes up. Dollar change, gas price goes up. Let's deceive Nigeria. If it has to change, it doesn't have to tie to dollar, because what we actually produce is more than what we import, and Nigerians will have a feel of that. And each time we buy from the major suppliers, we exchange in naira. Government agency collect naira, they don't collect dollar. You must have some other inputs, so that it won't be talk as I'm talking from knowledge gap. Yes, there must be some other inputs, some additives, because they allow blending and some other inputs. You have expired to there are a little bit of content of that in it. but that does not make it so significant that the effort will just be thrown away, that without passing the impact on Nigerians to have a feel of what government has done.
Because Christmas is almost here.
It's already
what are the concrete steps that should be taken so that we don't come to, what your fears were, that if we are not careful, we'll get to 18,000 naira, per 12.
We are close to it.
Yes.
What can be done?
Today, 20 metric tons is being sold for 16.8 million, which 3 weeks ago it was being sold for 10, later it became 14, now it's 16.8. That's about 17 million. As depot, you've not transport it. But we are sure that they could do better, the price can come low. So we need to pay. Now what we can do as a way out is left for the government agencies. We have enumerated the contribution of government. I don't know what I want to ask government to do now. I don't know what I will ask government to do because gas is not quickly going to bring it. NLNG is expanding. Trade 7 is going up, almost complete. There are also investors that are expanding on exploration. Most of this time now also invest on exploration.
You hinted at the influence of the intermediaries and terminal operators. So when you now kind of put it back, to the hands of the government, isn't that?
No, I'm not. I'm saying I don't know what I will ask government to do now, but I will ask government agencies. They have a lot to do.
Okay.
It's government agencies that has a lot to do. That is civil servants. They need to mediate. There are agencies that are supposed to check prices of essential things. You don't leave price of essential things solely to the forces of demand and supply. Otherwise, you will expose the poor, the vulnerables. So the government agencies need to come here. Call the terminal owners. Ask them. Ask for their price template. There's nothing is hidden. They have access to all the facts and figures. They know the landing cost. They know the overheads. They have the data. And they can say, okay, I'm cancelling you. Can you please, this is the dispensation we have. We have a new government in place. People must feel the hope. They must have a better thing. Can you please come down small? They will.
Yeah.
I wonder if there are discussions within your industry about diversifying supply sources. I mean, exploring renewable energy options or maybe investing in technological solutions to increase the efficiency and reduce costs, thereby maybe making cooking gas, as it were, more affordable to the population. Is that something that you're looking at?
That's a necessity because that's the trend of things. Technology is in fact. I just mentioned about reticulating now. Some estates that are coming up now, they contact our members that they are doing a reticulating system and that to be supplied. That's why they don't need cylinder to be carried away. Just like you actually open the tap and there's a meter reading it, all that kind of technology to improve the supply. So that is in pipeline and we are doing that. We are also trying to look a way where we can centralize collections. So you come into the plant, you just pick cylinder, you fill, and you go. You don't. When you return the cylinder. Not necessarily that this is my branded cylinder. That's we are working in conjunction with a government agency to get to understand. All those are in pipeline. Those are kind of things that can ease distribution. But distribution can be eased when there are willing buyers.
How I know that you must be getting tired of it because you mentioned in that you are not even sure what to ask of government. But how regularly do you interface with government, particularly the specific agencies that are crucial to your operations? How regularly do you interface with them? How much of trust do they have in the sort of suggestions that you offer? And if it is weak, what will you say to, because this is a new administration. Yes, Buhari administration is gone. It's the same party, but this is a new government.
We have close rapport in terms of travel with government agencies. Our AGM that we had last one, that's the 36th AGM.
Of the association?
And the association was established in 1986.
Wow.
And we've been in a system, we have large members. All our members are duly licensed by Medium and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority. And in fact, the keynote speaker at our last AGM was the top officers of the agency. The one we had before that was the MD of NLNG that was keynote speaker. Okay. And we have close interaction with government agencies. Even the terminal owners, the rapport are there. In most cases, they sponsor some of our activities. Because we are being a spoken voice for the industry. Things we've done in the past, they also benefited from it. And that is how it should be. Our is like a pressure group, protecting the industry. I'm not an off-taker. I don't want to be an off-taker. It will be a conflict of duty. What is important is to protect the industry and let the industry be stable. Tomorrow, another person comes as president of NABGAM, he will still do the same thing.
Yeah.
Because that's his role expected from members that you should do.
Yeah.
It's not about me, it's not about, but it's about the association and what the association wants, and what the governing council say, this is what you should do. So we have close rapport with all the government agencies, and they recognize us. This advocacy we are doing, we are not doing it in Eden. We have written all the way we feel to all the terminal owners. Period to this time, I had paid with my team visit to the terminal owners, discussing with their CEO on need for us to defend this industry. We also made our agitation known to the government, even the minister, everybody, letters are written out, so that we could all see and defend. It's not about it's about the industry. But why our force is loud is that we are going to be the first victim.
That's right.
Because people come to our doorstep, they pass the aggression to us. They say, oh, you people have just done. Now they are getting to know that the increase is not our instance. At the same time, by the time they drop their cylinder under their bed, we will not have business. And we need to defend our business to make sure that we continue in business. And that is where we are saying stability of price. We are pleading. We know they are entitled to returns on their investment. And we know significant contribution these terminal owners have done. Building of storage is billions of naira. It's a lot of risk. And if they have not contributed, we won't be where we are. Give that to them. It's just an appeal to our senses and understanding the situation of the country. And say, okay, if we are making 3% profit, can we do 2.5? So that the market will spread and market will be stable. That's just the appeal. That's just the appeal. We are not unmindful of overhead, increase in overheads, but we know the room is enough to take care of overheads and also to give a little bit back to the poor and have stable price.
I think it's a good thing that you've acknowledged them, but like you've also said, defending the business is very important. So I just want to know what your take is on the challenges of restricted bulk storage and of course the challenges with international vessel availability. How do you tackle that?
Yeah, that was a problem before. But when we cry out to government, today they give priority to LPG vessel.
Okay.
LPG vessel run from Port Harcourt to Lagos. There are two. One Port Harcourt, one. So this supply from NLG has been steady. For the other molecule producers that are not as big as NLG, then the private people arrange their vessel, and when they get there, they offload. So the only challenge we have is government to dredge, because there are some terminals that the big vessel cannot penetrate to, cannot get to. So they only need to do dredging, and with put that at doorstep, government is doing that.
Yeah.
They did it in Port Harcourt.
Okay.
Governor Wike assisted. And they cleared a lot of dredges that were blocking them. That is why we can have free flow of vessel in Port Harcourt today.
Okay.
And that has really solved problem of product in that region. Lagos is stable. So in the future, we are talking about the north. Because people come from the north to buy gas in Lagos. That's a very long distance. It's also hard to the cost. But by the time we have some depot there, somebody is trying to do that now.
Yeah. But
because of supply and some other, it hasn't been very effective. But then we have a depot close to them. Yeah. So if they don't come to Lagos, they go to Kwale. And road challenges and everything are quite there.
That's right. All right, before we let you go, Mr. Olatubosun, very quickly, yes, we are the giant of Africa, the biggest economy on the continent, but there are obviously a few lessons that we can learn from a Morocco and an Algeria. Algeria, particularly because of how they've managed to tidy their own petroleum sector. 5 state-owned refineries working at full capacity, so much so that Algeria does not have to import, anything. And there's nothing like government cannot run business there. What lessons in terms of gas now, pricing, distribution, availability, and utilization that you think, one or two, that we can at least nick from a Morocco and an Algeria, for example?
That's a very tough question. And I will try to attend to it. There's nothing that cannot work in Nigeria. The day we eliminate what we call Nigerian factor.
Nigerian factor.
That in quotes. We are brilliant, we are good. We can design so many things.
Yes.
We can get things done. We go to other countries, we do wonders. But when you get to our country, that big factor called Nigerian factor will never allow it to work. Cheap enough. That speaks all about it. It's now who is having the political will. Things we are doing here, not everybody can do it.
That's right.
I know what it is. I know what it is. To me, to my association, to my family, to my business. How many Nigerians are courageous to speak out? How many Nigerians are ready to do the right thing? How many Nigerians believe that they don't have their price? So Nigerian factor didn't allow things to. We could be greater than Algeria. We could be greater than Morocco in terms of expansion, in terms of utilization. But our challenge is we ourselves, our problem. God help us out.
God help us all. I think that's a good place to end it. Thank you so much, Mr. Olatubosun Oladapo, the President of the National Association of Liquefied Petroleum Gas Marketers. We really appreciate your time and your analysis. Thank you for being on the morning show.